Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. There's a different kind of power in a woman who has been broken but refuses to stay down. See, life can hit hard. People walk away, dreams crumble. But a strong woman, oh, she gets up, dusts herself off, and builds again, brick by brick, piece by piece. Self-reliance is power. The moment a woman realizes that she holds the key to her own destiny, everything changes. Life is unpredictable. People leave, promises break, and sometimes the ones we thought would always be there walk away without a second glance. But a strong woman does not wait for someone to come and rescue her. She doesn't sit in the rubble of what was. She looks around, picks up the pieces, and starts rebuilding. Because she knows that if she doesn't, no one else will. It's not easy. There are nights of doubt, moments of weakness, and days when she feels like giving up. But she doesn't. She pushes forward because she has no other choice. She learns to trust herself, to make decisions without seeking validation, and to rely on her own strength. And as she does, she realizes something powerful. She doesn't need permission to live the life she wants. Self-reliance isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. A strong woman doesn't just get through life, she builds a life she is proud of. She sets goals, works toward them, and achieves them. She doesn't wait for approval because she understands that her worth isn't determined by anyone else. She defines it herself. There are women who have walked through fire and come out stronger. Women who have lost everything, money, relationships, confidence, but still stand tall. These are the women who inspire the world, not because they had an easy journey, but because they refused to let hardship break them. They built themselves from the ground up with nothing but faith and determination. Pain is a teacher, not a prison. Every struggle, every setback, every heartbreak teaches something valuable. A strong woman doesn't see pain as a punishment. She sees it as a lesson. She doesn't let it define her. She lets it refine her. Pain changes people, but the strongest women use it to transform themselves for the better. She learns patience when things don't go as planned. She learns resilience when life knocks her down. She learns wisdom when she realizes that not everyone is meant to stay. Every challenge teaches her something she didn't know before. There are moments when she questions why things happened the way they did, why she had to go through so much while others seemed to have it easy. But then she realizes that her struggles were never meant to break her. They were meant to build her. She wouldn't be the woman she is today if life had been easy. A strong woman doesn't run from pain. She faces it head on. She allows herself to feel, to grieve, to acknowledge her losses. But she doesn't stay there. She rises. She moves forward. And she does it with a strength that can only come from experience. Your comeback will be greater than your setback. Every strong woman who rebuilds herself comes back stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than before. The world doesn't expect her to rise. It expects her to stay broken. But she proves everyone wrong. She doesn't just rebuild what was lost. She creates something better. She doesn't settle for the same life she had before. She aims higher. She becomes more confident, more powerful, more in control of her destiny. And when she looks back, she realizes that everything that happened, every painful moment, was shaping her into the woman she was meant to be. A strong woman's comeback isn't just about proving others wrong. It's about proving to herself that she can do it, that she is capable, that she is enough. She doesn't let fear hold her back because she knows what it's like to hit rock bottom, and she knows that if she survived that, she can survive anything. She moves with purpose. She walks into rooms knowing she belongs there. She speaks with confidence because she has lived through storms and come out victorious. She doesn't lower her standards or shrink herself to make others comfortable. She embraces her strength, her resilience, her power. When a woman rebuilds herself, she becomes unstoppable. She no longer looks for someone to save her because she has already saved herself. She no longer seeks validation because she knows her worth. She no longer fears failure because she has already conquered her worst days. She is a force, and the world will never be the same again. Pain changes people. It can break them or it can build them. A strong woman understands this, and instead of letting pain destroy her, she allows it to shape her into something greater. She does not see pain as a punishment. She sees it as a lesson, a necessary process that refines her, strengthens her, and prepares her for the next phase of life. Every setback, every heartbreak, every disappointment is a chapter in her story, and she refuses to let those chapters define her negatively. She chooses to grow from them. There are moments in life when everything falls apart. The people she trusted the most might betray her. The dreams she worked for might crumble. The life she imagined for herself might suddenly feel out of reach. These moments are painful and they test her in ways she never expected. But she does not let them break her spirit. She takes time to grieve, to feel, to acknowledge her pain, but she does not stay there. She picks herself up and decides to move forward, even if it hurts, even if she doesn't have all the answers. She understands that pain is not an enemy, it is a teacher. It forces her to look within, to reevaluate, to understand what truly matters. She learns patience when life doesn't go as planned. She learns resilience when she is knocked down but finds the strength to stand again. She learns wisdom when she realizes that not everyone is meant to stay in her life. Every moment of struggle is shaping her into a woman who is wiser, stronger, and more prepared for the future. Pain forces her to grow in ways she never imagined. It teaches her independence because she learns that no one else can heal her but herself. It teaches her self-worth because she realizes that her value is not determined by who stays or who leaves. It teaches her faith because sometimes when everything seems lost, the only thing left to do is believe that something better is coming. There are times when she questions why she had to go through so much, why she had to endure pain while others seem to have an easier path. But then she realizes that her struggles were never meant to punish her. They were meant to prepare her. Every hardship, every challenge, every difficult moment was giving her the strength and resilience she would need for the future. She wouldn't be the woman she is today if life had been easy. She learns to embrace the lessons that come with pain. She stops asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and starts asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" This shift in perspective changes everything. Instead of feeling like a victim of her circumstances, she becomes a student of life, constantly learning, constantly growing. She begins to see every challenge as an opportunity to become stronger, to become better. The pain of loss teaches her to appreciate what she has. The pain of betrayal teaches her to choose her relationships wisely. The pain of failure teaches her to keep going, to never give up. Every painful experience carries a lesson, and she refuses to let those lessons go to waste. She takes what she learns and uses it to build a life that is stronger, more purposeful, more fulfilling. There are days when the weight of everything she has been through feels unbearable, when she wonders if she has the strength to keep going. But then she remembers all the times she thought she wouldn't make it, and yet she did. She remembers the nights she cried, thinking she wouldn't recover, and yet here she is, standing taller than before. She reminds herself that she has survived 100% of her worst days. She is still here, and that means she is stronger than she ever realized. She refuses to let pain make her bitter. She knows that holding on to anger and resentment will only weigh her down. Instead, she chooses to let go. Not because it was easy, but because she refuses to let what hurt her control her. She forgives, not because they deserve it, but because she deserves peace. She moves forward, not because it doesn't hurt, but because she refuses to stay trapped in the past. She uses her pain to fuel her growth. Instead of letting it close her heart, she lets it teach her how to love better. Instead of letting it make her afraid of the future, she lets it push her toward new possibilities. Instead of letting it destroy her confidence, she lets it remind her of how much she has overcome. She is not the same woman she used to be. She has been through too much to remain unchanged. The pain she experienced has reshaped her, refined her, and strengthened her in ways she never expected. She walks differently now, with more confidence, more wisdom, more purpose. She speaks differently now, with more clarity, more self-assurance, more conviction. She lives differently now, with more gratitude, more resilience, more joy. She knows that life will never be free of pain, but she is no longer afraid of it. She no longer sees struggles as something to fear, but as something to learn from. She understands that every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger. She's not afraid of starting over because she knows she has done it before and she can do it again. She stands tall not because life has been easy, but because she has faced every hardship and refused to let it break her. She carries her scars, not as signs of weakness, but as proof of survival. She is living proof that pain does not have to destroy, it can transform. And she is stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable because of it. Every setback carries within it the seeds of a greater comeback. A strong woman who rebuilds herself knows this deep in her soul. She does not see failure as the end, but as the beginning of something greater. When life knocks her down, she does not stay there. She refuses to let the pain of her past define her future. She rises, stronger and wiser, ready to turn her losses into victories. She knows that rebuilding herself is not just about regaining what was lost. It is about becoming something greater. She does not waste time trying to recreate the past. She focuses on creating a better future. She looks at every hardship, every disappointment, and every failure as a stepping stone to something greater. The person she is becoming is far stronger than the person she was before. There was a time when she doubted herself, when the voices in her head told her she wasn't good enough, that she had failed too many times, that it was too late to start over, but she silenced those voices. She refused to believe the lies that tried to hold her back. Instead, she replaced them with the truth that she is capable, that she is powerful, that she has everything she needs within her to rebuild and rise again. She does not let fear hold her back. Fear of failing again, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. She knows that the only way to grow is to step outside of her comfort zone, to take risks, to believe in herself even when no one else does. She moves forward with confidence even when she is afraid, because she knows that every step she takes brings her closer to the life she deserves. She does not waste time seeking revenge on those who wronged her. She knows that the best revenge is success. The best response to betrayal is to rise so high that those who doubted her can do nothing but watch in awe. She refuses to let bitterness poison her heart. She chooses to focus on herself, on her growth, on her future, because she knows that true power comes not from proving others wrong, but from proving to herself that she is unstoppable. She builds herself up piece by piece, day by day. She does not wait for motivation. She does not wait for the perfect moment. She starts where she is with what she has, even on the days when she feels tired, even on the days when progress seems slow. She keeps going because she knows that every small step forward is a victory. There are moments when she feels alone in her journey, when it seems like no one understands the struggle, but she does not let loneliness break her spirit. She understands that rebuilding herself is a personal journey. It is not about seeking approval from others. It is about becoming the best version of herself. She finds strength in solitude, using it as a time to reflect, to heal, to grow. She refuses to compare her journey to others. She knows that success looks different for everyone. Some people may seem to have it all together, but she understands that everyone has their own struggles, their own battles to fight. She focuses on her own path, her own progress, and does not let the success of others make her doubt her own potential. She embraces the process. She knows that rebuilding takes time. There are no shortcuts to greatness. She is patient with herself, knowing that every setback, every challenge, every moment of struggle is shaping her into the woman she is meant to be. She does not rush the process. She trusts it. She understands that healing is just as important as hustling. She does not ignore the wounds of the past. She does the hard work of healing, of letting go, of forgiving, because she knows that true strength is not just about pushing forward. It is also about making peace with the past. She refuses to carry the weight of resentment, anger, and regret. She frees herself from the chains of what was and focuses on what can be. She surrounds herself with people who lift her up. She knows that the journey of rebuilding is not one she has to walk alone. She finds strength in positive relationships, in people who encourage her, who challenge her to be better. She distances herself from negativity, from those who drain her energy, from those who do not believe in her. She understands that the people she surrounds herself with will either push her forward or hold her back, and she chooses wisely. She takes care of herself physically, mentally, and emotionally. She understands that rebuilding is not just about success in the external world. It is also about inner peace, about well-being, about taking care of herself in every way. She listens to her body, her mind, her soul, and gives herself what she needs to thrive. She is kind to herself, knowing that self-love is the foundation of everything else. She refuses to settle for anything less than she deserves. She does not lower her standards to fit in. She does not accept less than what she knows she is worth. Whether it is in relationships, in career, in life, she expects the best because she knows she has worked for it, she has earned it, she deserves it. She no longer tolerates anything that does not align with her growth, her happiness, her peace. She walks into every room with confidence, not because life has been easy, but because she has survived everything meant to break her. She carries herself with strength, with grace, with certainty, because she knows who she is. She no longer seeks validation from others because she has already validated herself. She knows her worth, and she refuses to let anyone make her feel less than she is. She keeps going even when the journey feels tough. She does not give up because she knows that the greatest success stories are written by those who refuse to quit. She does not stop when she is tired. She stops when she has achieved what she set out to do, and even then, she sets new goals, new dreams, new heights to reach. She looks back on everything she has been through, and instead of feeling sorrow, she feels pride because she knows how far she has come. She knows the battles she has fought. She knows the struggles she has overcome, and she stands tall, knowing that she has built herself up from nothing, that she has created a life that is hers and hers alone. She is unstoppable. She is unbreakable. She is the woman who rebuilt herself, and nothing will ever be the same again.